Hi, everybody. Tim, send him an invite. Welcome into the Upstate Pulse. My name is Alonzo, and it is a beautiful Saturday night. And so glad you guys are here. Before we get anything started, I want to point out that this is about the level that you're going to get from me, because anything above this, and I will have a coughing fit for about 15 minutes. So I have been ill for most of the week, and I'm not going to miss the Upstate Pulse, though. So I'm here and looking forward to a wonderful Saturday night. It's going to be nice and subdued, and maybe I'll just try to hit the nice. No, see, I can't do this. You know, I can't hit those low tones because Matthew Causey's on the show.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I've got the entire the stock of deep voice.
He does, and so even if I,
everyone else sounds like they're on helium.
Even if that's true.
I don't think I would go that far with the comparison.
So even if I try to go low, even though I do hit the sexy mark pretty quick, but I just can't because the king of bass is sitting over there.
Indeed, I am.
There we go. Yeah. There we go, and he knows it.
Voice bass. Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I don't play any musical instruments, so no other bass.
Yeah.
Well, the joke I'm making is
all right. The other voice you hear is Cameron. Say hello, Cameron.
Hi, I'm Cameron.
You're gonna make me cough already. And then we've got T2.
Hi, how are you?
Speaking of helium, there we go.
Oh wow.
We are dude. You went like 3 octaves above everybody else. So.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tim.
For a second, I thought Elmo was over there.
This is the singing
Elmo.
voice. I have the singing voice.
No, that's cool.
We should for the stream at some point just have our own Muppets.
Well,
on the screen.
Now I want to have a Muppet that looks like me, but I'd probably be annoyed about it. All right, so if you want to be a part of the show, text line is 71307. There's a couple of things that I have to tell the guys who are reading the text that they can go ahead and read that they'll probably go, I ain't reading that. But in case they should come through by some of the crossover audience from the Rob Brown Show. Also, we are live on Facebook at 106.3 WORD, at the Upstate Pulse, and at Lonzo and Word. We are live on Twitter at 106.3 WORD and at Lonzo and Word. We are live on YouTube at 106.3 WORD and the Upstate Pulse. And finally, we are live on Twitch at the Upstate Pulse. So those are all the places that you can check us out. And of course, you can hear us live on the radio at 106.3 WORD. So that will be the last time that I tell you every single way that you guys can be a part of the show, because it's just way too much. It's just too. I mean, but you know what? If we could add some more channels, we would.
Yeah, we would. Yeah, definitely.
We would just because we're the we are the first ones in the building to do all this stuff. Others have followed, which is fine.
With our help.
For no other reason, it's a sign of superiority that we have more channels.
With our help.
With our help.
Assert dominance.
All right.
That's right, Matthew.
On today's show, we have narrowed it down. Matthew wasn't here last week, but we have decided what this year's bracket is going to be. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment, because we're going to need your help with some of this and suggestions from you. We're also going to break down the season finale of Willow. Talk about the latest episode of Bad Batch. We got Oops. We're going to talk video games, including what was your favorite video game of 2022. And I'm sure we will all have something to. All right, Cameron and I probably will pick the same game, but everybody else will have something different. So looking forward to doing all of that. And again, I want to apologize. At some point, I may have to trail off into a coughing fit and dive into some cough drops, which is a no for radio, but you got to do what you got to do. And we're going to have some fun tonight. Whether my voice sounds like I'm having fun or not, we're still going to be having fun. By the way, I found out on the Rob Brown Show, and I want to let you guys know about this because I was curious about it, and this is happening to me right now. The inside of your elbow, You know what this is called? Right in here. Do you know what it's called?
Yes.
What's it called?
It's called the weenus.
No, that's the
That's
weenus.
the outside.
The weenus is right here.
Oh,
the
okay,
weenus
then
is
I'm
the
wrong.
outside.
I don't know.
Yeah, but still, you
The
do
weenus
that.
is the elbow
The
bone.
weenus is the
right
outside.
there.
So, but the inside is your elbow pit. So, and
elbow pit.
Yeah,
That's the official name.
no, there are like 4 names, but that's one of them. That's the best one.
Well, the other thing
That
is, if
is
you
definitely
refer
the
to,
best
That's
one.
the best one.
if you refer to your armpit as an armpit,
Right.
then you would have an elbow pit.
Yeah, it just makes
What
sense.
about it? So then that means I guess you have a knee pit.
You got a knee pit.
You do have a knee
Absolutely.
pit.
You have a knee pit. Yeah.
That's all we're going as far as like crevices go.
Yes.
But
yes, exactly.
some
So-
pits shouldn't be talked about. That's a great time.
That's
to pause.
absolutely true, there,
is,
Cameron.
Is Matthew in utility? I'm just checking.
Am
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is
is
in
he? Okay.
utility.
All
yes,
right.
sir.
So I'm letting you know
My
that.
mic is on.
I'm letting you know that just in case you see any texts about weenus and pits. So there we go.
You've been forewarned of the
Yes.
weenus and
Oh,
the pits.
Yes, which happened on the Rob Brown show yesterday. Both back from illness, a little bit crazier than normally, and so that was touched on. You know, something that's
You got
really
that manic, quirked up host energy.
yes. You know, something really cool that's coming up in April. If you guys have never been there before, it's almost time for South Carolina Comic-Con. This thing is huge.
Is it in April? I thought it was in June.
No, it's in April.
Oh,
Yes.
I spend way too much money at Comic-Con.
Yes, it's
I
April.
did at the Spartanburg one.
April 15th and 16th. They're already starting to announce guests. Hope to get Rob Young rather from
The exalted Rob Young.
yes, the exalted Rob Young from Borderlands Comics and Games, our sponsor, on in the next couple of weeks to start talking about. And usually around this time of year, we have Rob Young on, and he will give us some exclusive guests announcements. And I want to make sure that we get that again this year because it's always cool. And a lot of times I haven't had a chance to talk to him lately because I've been sick. But he sometimes will let me know ahead of time some of the things. And I feel like I'm one of those inside people. Like,
Ooh,
yeah,
I'm an
yeah,
insider.
I know something you don't know. So the only I know that Kevin Eastman, the guy, one of the guys who created the Ninja Turtles, is coming, which is a big name artist. Also, Hangman Adam Page from AEW is coming. They've already made some announcements for a lot of other artists, but and Johnny Young Bosch is coming back. The Black Ranger, I think it was, who does a ton of voiceover. We tried to get him on the show last year and had some sort of technical problems, couldn't get it done. Who knows? Maybe this year we can get him. So anyway, if you have never been to a Comic-Con, this is the one to start with for sure. You will have a lot of fun. The tickets are affordable. You can buy 1-day passes or 2-day passes. It runs on a Saturday and a Sunday. You can go. There's always plenty of parking, and you go have fun. And if you're into something nerdy, something pop culture, and you see it online, you're like, I wonder how big that is. I don't know if I should order that. Well, if you go to South Carolina Comic-Con, you'll be able to pick it up, look at it, and go, yeah.
Also, there will be plenty of things that you'll see that you never thought of that you wanted.
Are you thinking of one thing in particular that I might have showed you at SD Comic Con Junior?
Oh, yes.
I
Although
tell-
some of the wares that were shown were not in my interest at all, but I did like the Ducky Dice set that I got.
So
I tell you, I'm kicking myself in the butt for this because you guys know I just bought a new car. But at the Spartanburg Comic-Con, they had a license plate that said "out of time" on it.
Oh, that would have been cool.
I know, and I almost
like
bought
that.
it. I almost bought it because I was like, "Oh, that would look great on my new car," and now I'm kicking myself in the butt for it.
So I mean, Cameron and I bought swords there. We bought a ton of posters.
I bought a dragon skull the size of Matthew.
Yes, it's about the
No
size
way.
of Matthew.
God.
Yeah, it's
It's
pretty
not
big.
hyperbole.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh, wow.
It really is that big. It's a good centerpiece for all the things.
Tell me
he's
you have a
doing.
picture of that. I need to see it.
I'll look through it during the break. And
It's
see what-
actually, I think it's posted on the Upstate Pulse. One of the pictures. You'd have to go back a couple years to Comic-Con, but I'm pretty
okay.
sure we took a picture of it.
yeah, I think 3 years actually.
So anyway, if we're going to keep talking about this every week because it will be here before you know it. You know, something else that will be here before you know it is this year's bracket. And as per our debate argument whatever you want to call it last week about how many years we've done this thing. Well, I didn't go back and do the research because I don't have to. This will be the 8th one because I've declared it. And there we go. So what we do every year is, I don't know why I was looking your direction. It just happened to be, my mic is pointed that way, Cameron. And so I just looked that way. That's just how.
Well, I was the one you were having the argument with. So, I mean,
it was you. I forgot all about that. So
shocking, right?
Yeah, I know. So every year,
could have been Tim.
Every year we come up with something pop culture that we do the brackets on, and we decided that that we're going to go with cartoons. And Cameron had an idea, and I thought it was a good idea, and it's East versus West. So one side will have American cartoons, the other side will have anime. But even though Tim hates it, and he'll just have to deal with it, they must be dubbed. No subs.
So we're specifically going to be talking about the dubs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
They must be dubbed. So
no, Matthew hates it too. I can see it.
It depends dub to dub.
But here's the reason why. I know it's easy to think, well, I like this. You also got to consider the audience and the possibility. You want as many people having seen what you're talking about
That's true.
as possible.
That's true.
So we're going to talk about the audience and y'all's opinions, and then we're going to get to my objective truth, right?
As usual.
Of course.
So, and how this works is once we get the thing together and we get started, which will be somewhere near the end of February. So, the end of next month, which means I got to start working on this now. And so we'll have a panel of 4, maybe more, and we will vote on it ourselves. And if a tie happens, then we'll go to the text line. And it is one of the most hated things in this entire building, and I don't care. So if we had a tie, let's say it was between Flintstones and the Jetsons, and I picked Flintstones and Tim picked Flintstones.
I would pick Flintstones.
And then the other 2 guys picked Jetsons. There would be a tie. We'd immediately go to the text line, and the first person to text in either Flintstones or Jetsons.
That's a hard choice, though.
I would probably pick Flintstones if I had to pick from that.
Yeah.
They're both really good, though.
Cameron, which one would you pick?
I probably would actually pick the Flintstones because I watch more of that than the Jetsons.
And the movie was awesome.
And it's had a much more longer lasting effect on me, I guess, than the Jetsons. It's like one of those cartoons like I've seen a few episodes of, but I never really got too into it.
Yeah, I used to watch the Jetsons like every day.
If I recall,
on Boomerang.
If I recall, the Jetsons came out before the Flintstones, and they actually put the Flintstones, if I recall, I say if I recall, I think it might have been a couple years before I was born, but they put it in the Flintstones was actually in prime time, which was very rare at the time for a cartoon. Since then, we've got like Simpsons or a show like a Rick or Morty or something like that. So, all right, I'm going to give you some possibilities that I already have for the bracket in just a minute. But first, Tim, what was your favorite cartoon growing up?
Ooh, my favorite cartoon growing up. Is there an age limit on this?
What do you mean?
Like, I mean, when I was 3, when I was 5?
What's the first cartoon that comes to mind when you were a kid? All right, when you were a kid, you could not wait to watch the next episode of this thing was coming out.
Dragon Ball Z, 100%.
Okay, all right, Matthew.
It's kind of a toss up between a couple things, but I think I'd go with Ben 10. I think that was one of my favorite things growing up as a kid.
Ooh, that was good.
Yes,
that was good.
I know someone else who was really into that. All right, Cameron.
Yeah.
Speaking of the someone else,
yes, I am the someone he's referring to. Honestly, I think it's a 3-way tie between Dragon Ball Z, Justice League, and Teen Titans.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, how did I forget about Teen Titans?
All right.
So, Teen Titans.
So Teen Titans obviously will be on the list. I'm going to give you a quick list of some things that I just threw in here right now, and then we're going to go to break. But we want your help on the stream at Facebook, at YouTube, at Twitch. What cartoons should be on this bracket? And it's East versus West. So throw in an anime, must be dubbed. Throw in a regular cartoon. All right. I've got Flintstones, Jetsons, Scooby-Doo, Rick and Morty, Simpsons, Justice League, Spider-Man, Batman, Star Wars, Looney Tunes, Animaniacs, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Speed Racer, Thundercats, He-Man, G.I. Joe, Transformers, and Voltron. All right, so these are just the few that popped into my head right away. Probably one.
Adventure Time and Gravity Falls better be on there.
And that's
by
way
the
more
time
than a
that
few.
We have this bracket.
That's the thing. I want to compile a list to the degree where we may have to have a debate on, the last couple to make it on the list. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD.
By the way, Trey says that the reason why Johnny bought this song. Yeah, I had forgotten about that.
Yeah, I forgot to.
Also, I really hope I'm saying your name correctly, but thank you, Emanuela.
I'm dropping some LBs up in here.
Is it because of all the elbow pit sweat?
It is.
Oh, man.
It is. It's like,
Well, that's going to be a hard habit to
It's just
break.
draining out of your arms.
yeah. Stop messing up, Tim. What are you doing?
Well, no, because I have to turn utility off. So I'm always, I'll turn it off and then hit utility.
Why do you have to turn utility off?
Because
Also, yeah, Trey,
adult,
the
it'll bleed
90s
through,
Spider-Man
like,
was
you
one of my
typing
favorites
and
too.
Talking and stuff. will bleed
So
through the
so
charger.
right now you turned utility off and you're talking and they can't hear you.
No, I turned it back on.
Okay.
But,
All right. All right.
I was just saying that's gonna be a hard habit to break.
Yeah, Michael, Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, yeah, it's also a
stupid
good
dog.
one.
Definitely will be on
I'm
there.
gonna get me mallet.
Eustace.
I feel like that's another influence on Pappy.
Courage. I love this show.
Yeah, where he's like we were just talking about.
Yeah, I
Just-
know.
okay.
No.
All right.
5
This
second
is a-
delay.
It's a 5.
You said Eustace.
Yeah, it's 5 to okay. Yeah.
Dude, my son still watches Courage today. Like you can watch it on HBO Max.
Nice.
Yeah, he loves that show.
Text line. Do we have any texts?
Yeah, we got one that I saw earlier. That's
I'll see if Matthew has it up and he can read it.
I can read it.
I have the red X theme
I
stuck
like
in my
the
head.
news voice
You like
reading the
news voice
text.
better than the singing voice. We'll say
Helium Tim.
Helium.
Timlium. I don't know. That didn't work. Let's abandon it.
Sounded good before you said it though, didn't it?
You know, I was iffy about it in my own head. So, not the greatest prospects. Looking out.
Question is, should I add? And I'm going to have to, and we may get rid of cartoons like
You gotta put Attack on Titan on there too.
is it English dubbed?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay. There'll be some I don't know. That's why I'm
Most anime at this point is dubbed. I mean, there's a lot of.
Dubbed.
I don't think either one of those would beat Magilla Gorilla.
Is that your dark horse?
Different
Is that the
dubbed.
Newman of this
Attack on Titan
bracket?
is dubbed.
Killer Gorilla.
No, the Hanna-Barbera races.
Demon Slayer is dubbed.
Oh yeah, it's definitely one that needs to be on there.
Yeah.
So right away, I already know who I think's going to win the whole thing, or who's going to win one side and who's going to win the other side. But we'll see. By the way, I see all you guys's. I'm going to wait and read all these on the air, so I'm not ignoring it. I see everything. Streamed.
Compiling it.
Yes, it's a good word. My coughs are compiling, awaiting to be
I'm
released.
just gonna be hearing nothing of like the God. Hamster just died. I'm gonna be hearing nothing but that for like 20 minutes on the way home, aren't I?
No, because I'll turn on Clyde Lewis and we'll be all right.
You'll just be in awe of the
the
great
production.
production,
Yes,
and then
I
you'll
will.
just you'll be
Best
fine.
producer in the business.
I still love the fact that like when you brought that up to Chris is like, "Oh yeah, and the amazing production." I was like, "You guys are such radio nerds."
So,
no, it's great.
so
but
I don't have a problem with being a radio nerd. That's what I am.
well, it's the other thing is to have passion for the things that you enjoy, or
And it's not even envy. It's just like, man, I
it's
wish I-
admiration.
Yeah,
That's what it should be.
All right, welcome into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo, T2, Matthew, Cameron, having fun on a Saturday night. And we're talking about a cartoon bracket, which we're going to be putting together. I am compiling cartoons right now, and we're going to narrow it down and name the Upstate Pulse #1 cartoon of all time when all things are said and done. Last year, we named a winner at South Carolina Comic-Con. That's it just worked out that way, and we were able to do it when we broadcast live from there. All right, so I'm looking for your suggestions. We've got a ton on the stream, and then we're going to get to the text line, and Matthew and Tim can read them because Matthew is doing something else.
Well,
okay? Okay, all right.
I don't have my fork yet, so
Yeah.
I can't eat yet.
Oh, okay. All right. So anyway, let's go to the stream. On the stream, Trey says Spider-Man, the 90s version. I agree. Except for when I was watching it, it went off the air when I think Mary Jane disappeared. And it's like, oh, okay.
Such a cliffhanger.
Okay, what happens? And then it never came back on. But apparently it kept going. They just didn't play it on our affiliate, and you can watch it on on Disney, I believe it is.
I thought we did finally watch that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I remember that they actually came back and finished the story for that, because you found out that she was actually a Hydra clone.
Yeah, which was no, but then they go back and they find the real one.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all a Madam Web thing, if I recall. All right, let's see. Michael says Courage the Cowardly Dog. We talked about this off the air. Courage the Cowardly Dog.
You stupid dog! You make me look bad.
Yeah, I just a lot of screaming. I mean, that's really, I mean, you know, just
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
There's a lot more to Courage the Cowardly
Yeah,
Dog than
yeah,
just screaming.
Yeah. man.
but
There's
no,
things
no.
that are being screamed at.
Dude, I am not. I'm not.
I
mean,
like when he does the gibberish when he's trying to tell
Miriam.
Miriam,
Yeah.
Miriam, like what's going on.
See, Matthew, I can't have not watched it without knowing Miriam and Eustace and all that stuff. I'm just saying, there's a lot of screaming by the dog.
Oh, what
Yeah.
about Billy and Mandy?
Yeah, I already mentioned that on
Yep.
the,
Oh, you
on the
did?
list.
You
Yes,
did, you
you were
did.
there too. It
One
was
one
amazing.
person coming in on the chat mentioned Ed, Ed and Eddie, and I completely
Yes.
forgot about that when we were talking earlier. Amazing.
Love it, Ed,
Yeah.
and
Does not
Eddie.
miss.
Yeah, Cameron was not allowed to watch Ed, Ed and Eddie. So,
Really?
Yes.
Why? I probably shouldn't ask why.
Because I thought someone is very influential, and I was afraid if someone watched certain things like them, they may try some of the stupid things that Ed, Ed and Eddie.
all the
tried.
scams.
Yeah. So
It's like, that sounds like fun. I'll do that on the playground later.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So no. Let's see. Mark says Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, Woody Woodpecker. Forgot about him. Animaniacs and Justice League Unlimited. You know, I like Justice League Unlimited better than Justice League, just because you got to see all these other superheroes that you've never seen before, including like Booster Gold for the first time. I thought it was pretty cool.
Oh, and then you had the whole Cadmus storyline too, which was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Trey says G.I. Joe from the 80s. Yes, for sure. Mark also says One Piece, which I'm up to episode 779, I think.
Which part of the story is that?
Gosh.
All right. Let me think about this.
Are they still in
Which
the giant
arc, what
elephant?
arc are you in?
Yeah, they're on the elephant.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Yeah, with the mink. They're with the mink tribe. And
Yep.
The samurai have just declared that Momo actually is the Lord, and they've
Yeah.
all bowed to him. So, which is, you know, and while at Borderlands Comics and Games the other day, I saw a Momonosuke. I got it right the second time. I didn't buy it though, because I'm like, man, that kid's annoying. And then I watched the episode the next day and find out that he's a lord.
Which is kind of the point. He starts out that way, and that's his art, pretty much.
Well, I don't know anything other than he can turn into a dragon lizard.
Yep.
Let's see. Mark also says Rick and Morty, Bob's Burgers, Castlevania, and Archer should also be on the brackets. See, I'm wondering about Castlevania. So, do we exclude streaming cartoons?
No. I
No.
think if we're going to talk about cartoons or anything, we should include every avenue.
It doesn't matter what the source is.
All right.
Yeah.
So also keep in mind with the list, because cartoons have been going on, you know, for like 50 years, well, actually like 70 years. There's going to be a lot that's not going to make it.
Oh, yeah.
I think the
So-
other thing to break it down by is probably time period too.
Yeah. If we go East versus West, There's gonna be a lot of American cartoons that don't make it. It's gonna make some people mad. That's the fun part of it. All right. Elizabeth says South Park, Roadrunner, and Yosemite Sam. I think
Roadrunner
Yosemite
and Yosemite Sam
Yeah.
are both part of Looney Tunes.
yeah.
So,
So that's what I
I
was.
think Looney Tunes is the all-encompassing.
boy, Yosemite Sam.
All right. So the rules are going to be, and we've done this in the past too, like Star Wars cartoons. It's going to be all of them.
Ooh, that
Put
kind
it
of drags
together.
like
Still.
Clone Wars down even though. Ooh.
But it doesn't because
Clone Wars is really good, but like Bad Batch and Rebels definitely drag it down.
You
think
didn't like
so?
Rebels?
you don't like Bad Batch.
Bad
haven't
Batch is a
seen
lot
Bad
better than
Batch yet.
Rebels. I don't hate Bad Batch. It's just a little. It's just when I'm comparing it to Clone Wars, which is hard not to do, it always falls short.
All right. So here's the thing: if a brand, in this case, has to be all encompassing, because you can't add all these separate entities of those, because there's so many different kinds of cartoons from those.
I would argue just adding specifically the best version,
Uh,
but it's not my bracket. It's everyone's bracket.
It
so
is an hour thing. Also, Justice League. So Justice League will include Justice League Unlimited, and in my case, it will include Super Friends. Okay, so anything that's kind of that thing. Same thing with Spider-Man. All the Spider-Mans. Batman. You could have the same argument that Batman and Batman Beyond should be separate, but in order to fit other cartoons in there, this is why I have to put them into a thing. So I don't think there's anybody out there
So what
going
would
to
be the
be
terminology for that? Like it's
Carl-
not necessarily franchises, but
Wow. Carl.
It is a
from-
franchise though.
it kind of is.
Yeah.
Trey said
I don't know what
Carl
a
from Aqua Teen
specifically
Hunger
better one
Force.
would be.
Did you ever watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
I did not.
Oh my God, I loved it.
Is that the one where the drink and the food and all that stuff's
Yeah,
alive?
with
Yeah.
Frylock and Meatwad.
Yeah, just okay. Steven says Voltron. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. Definitely Voltron's going to be there. That was a big part of my teenage years.
So
Elizabeth
here's the
says,
question
Mickey
though with
Mouse.
Voltron, because Voltron's a little weird because it's got Japanese not aspect. It's the parts of the show come from Japan, and the more modern versions of the show come from the West. So how do we
that you have
classify it
to
as an
split.
anime
But, no,
or a
no,
Western show?
There's no split, and it's West
Okay.
because its origin. Voltron's origin is West.
the Voltron's
I mean
origin.
East. I'm saying it wrong.
Okay.
Okay, I got there. All right, calm down. Calm down.
Did
It's
we
East.
did
I
we
wasn't.
say
I wasn't being.
It's East.
I wasn't
Okay.
being abrasive
Yeah.
about
did
it.
we say cow and chicken yet?
No.
Cow and chicken.
Cow and Chicken was good, but I don't think it stacks up to some of the
What
other
is Charlie
stuff that
James?
we're
Charlie
talking
James
the
back on
top
there
of the top.
suggesting that? I know.
No,
So
no.
we did cartoons.
Oh, that's right.
What cartoons were we doing before that he suggested that? So that almost makes me think we've done animated before.
Yeah, because he's talked about cow and chicken with me before.
That's right. Crap, we got to go back.
We gotta go back. We gotta go back in time.
No, we'll just do it anyway. Because I mean,
It's your kids, Marty.
It's a new audience. it's a new everything, and I'm not going to remember everything that we've ever done. So we're doing animated again, just like
Yes, in the 9 years
But-
in which
but-
we've been doing
but
this
We're
show.
adding anime to it, right?
we're adding anime to it,
Yeah.
and we're making it East versus West. It's,
Yeah.
it's
It is its own spin.
It is, without a doubt. But yes, cow and chicken for sure needs to be on there. I wasn't a big cow and chicken fan.
I love cow and chicken.
I liked it as a kid, but I definitely don't.
And
think it
Dexter's
stacks up
Lab.
to some of the
Oh,
other stuff.
Lab.
No,
When
Dexter's
we're
Lab
fighting
for
for
sure.
spots, I don't know that it makes it compared to like some of the other more
I
iconic.
probably, yeah, I agree.
massive things.
I mean, I probably
I
watched
think we-
Dexter's Lab way more than I did cow and chicken.
Yeah.
Yes, Dee Dee.
I sympathized a lot with Dexter.
especially because I think we should try and focus on keeping stuff from different eras too, so that there's a good variety.
Absolutely. I've
So-
started looking through cartoons from the 50s, cartoons from 60s, 70s,
Oh yeah.
stuff like that.
So you've been doing research.
Yes, I have in my weekend state. Speaking of which, I'm due for a coffee fit. So let's take a break. You are listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD. I wasn't joking.
You'll have it eaten by 8.
All right. By the way, we're going to move on from this, but I'm loving all of the suggestions, so keep them coming. there's going to be cartoons that that I think of that you guys will have never heard of before. So, although with Boomerang and things like that, I think that actually does help in a way.
It does, because there's a lot of older shows that they showed that I never would have watched because of age.
Like you could throw something in there like Pink Panther. Have any of you guys seen Pink Panther before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tim,
seen the Pink Panther? Okay.
Ba-dum,
Have you ever seen Snagglepuss?
ba-dum, ba-dum.
Inspector Gadget. Good one, Steven.
I've seen that.
I am curious though. Inspector Gadget kind of had an anime feel to it.
Just because it has a feel to it and has
No, I'm just curious where its origins are from. This is something.
It is Western.
Okay.
I think the other question is, well, on that same vein, Samurai Jack and Avatar: The Last Airbender would still be Western,
Yeah, they're
even though it
absolutely
has
Western.
Eastern influences. I'm just putting that out there in case that becomes a
But
question.
Dragon Ball will
Dragon Ball's
be
absolutely East.
yeah. And see, that's another one. It's going to be Dragon Ball encompassing Z and Super and all of it.
What about GT?
GT doesn't count.
It's
I
not
just-
canon anymore.
I just wanted to
GT is
upset
a
them.
fan fiction.
Yeah, you
It's an
guys,
alternate
we're
timeline.
past the point of Z, so it's
you guys can say all that. I love how it's the Uber Dragon Ball nerds because you can't. But
Toriyama didn't write GT.
that's fine. But Super Saiyan 4, so that means it doesn't exist. Tell that to all the video games and still put it in there. Okay, well, I disagree with you guys.
Well,
Um,
to be
still
fair,
exists in the marketing.
Exactly.
I think it's actually treated as like an alternate
Because
timeline.
I can bring up
Is
Dokkan
it?
right now and show you how many characters I have that.
That's the only cool thing about GT. The rest of the show was garbage.
There's cool aspects to it, but yeah, I'm not a huge fan of GT overall.
It was-
terrible. They completely omitted all the other characters. It was just like Goku.
And Pan and Trunks.
Oh yeah. Well, no, because they get omitted too later. Like it's all about
They're only
Goku,
part of,
and
like,
then
the first
Vegeta
arc.
comes out of nowhere with the contraption and turns him into a Super Saiyan 4.
I love the idea for the Shadow Dragons art. They just didn't execute it perfectly.
The baby art wasn't too bad.
Omega Shenron was cool.
Omega Shenron was cool.
Wow, for something you guys hate, you're finding an awful lot of cool stuff.
There's-
I shouldn't have brought it up.
No, this is the same argument as the Star Wars prequels. It's the same argument. Oh, I can't stand. I can't. Yeah, but that was okay. Yeah, but that was okay. Yeah, either you like it or you don't.
I think you're dealing in absolutes.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse, right here on 106.3 WORD. My name is Lonzo, along with T2 and Matthew and Cameron, having fun on a Saturday night. I've had this rant before, but I'm going to do it again. Stop blocking the intersection on Woodruff and Garlington. How many light changes did we sit through?
Way too many.
3.
Yesterday, I was really annoyed. I was turning off of Woodruff Road into Garlington, and there was a guy crossing the street. He starts running past the first half of the road with the cars that were sitting there at a red light, not moving. And then when he gets to the half where I'm turning, where I have a row of cars behind me, he stops running and starts just slow walking.
Oh wait, that was me.
No, it was not you. I will remember this man's face until my grave.
I'll say if it was you, chances are you're lying in a ditch.
I was
somewhere.
about to say,
If it
Tim,
was
if it
you,
was
you'd
you,
be in a ditch right now.
You'd be getting a bumping.
No, I would never do that, actually.
Yeah, so we sit there and watch people block the intersection, just be considerate of everybody else. So-
Woodruff Road is like a nexus of stupid.
well,
It is.
I get you. Some people start out trying to be kind, but eventually that turns to rage. It does, and it just be considerate of the people behind you and the people across the street are trying to cross the street. And you can tell when college football season is over because when it's over, everybody goes out to Woodruff Road for some reason. I don't know where they're going on Woodruff Road, but apparently they're going somewhere. So somewhere out there, probably still, somewhere, down the road a little bit. Someone's been stuck there for about 15 or 20 minutes. I hope we're able to entertain you while you're sitting there in traffic.
And we're sorry.
We're not sorry for the show, but we're sorry that you're stuck in traffic. And,
That's what I meant.
Yes. So come on, be kind and stop. A sign obviously doesn't work. Don't block the intersection. Wait a minute. There's a sign that says I shouldn't do that. So I shouldn't.
If there's one thing I've learned in my adult life is people actually don't read
Well,
at all. Emails, signs,
Yep.
radioactive warnings.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened to me earlier. Because he asked me if I saw that text. I said, yeah, I glanced at it.
all right.
Everybody's in such a hurry that they can't stop and read.
You know what I want to do? I want to throw a wrench in it. Like if you could dodge a wrench, you can dodge a dodgeball, Tim. Get the oops intro ready, and we're going to go ahead and do an oops. I'm not sure he got my dodgeball reference. It's okay. It's all right.
I'm disappointed, but not surprised.
A dodgeball.
Upside your head, say oops upside your head. Say oops upside your head. Say oops upside your head.
Nobody can take that much and still live.
What's this?
That's cray-cray.
Is everybody in this town on drugs?
This is ridiculous.
All right. So whether you know it or not, you may know who he is. Have you guys heard of Michael Bay before, the director? He's
Familiar with him a
He's
little bit.
directed a lot of major, big time films. If I recall, like the first Transformers and some things like that. So, big budget, that sort of thing. Well, he's in trouble in Italy. He is.
What did he blow up?
This is. It's not good. So he's being accused of killing something, an animal, and an animal that can get him arrested. He refuses to pay the fine because he says he didn't do it. And all right, Tim, what animal do you think he's being accused of killing in Italy that could get him arrested?
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
I don't know. An eagle.
Okay, there we go. I'm not quite sure that those exist in Italy, but I could be wrong. Matthew.
I have no idea. I don't know what kind of Italian animals there are that would be, especially whatever their national animal is. I'm gonna guess whatever that is.
Bull,
Okay, Cameron.
I have seen the story. Do you want me to say?
No.
Or
If
do you
you've
want-
seen the story, then
Okay.
no. All right, so he's accused of killing a pigeon.
A pigeon.
A pigeon. Yes, a pigeon. Bay has denied the allegations and has reportedly tried several times to communicate with Italian authorities to clear up the matter. I am a well-known animal lover and major animal activist, Bay told the Wrap in a statement. We usually don't get political here, but this makes it funnier. No animal involved in the production was injured or harmed or on any other production I've worked on in the past 30 years. The director is confident that he has enough evidence to exonerate the film's production of these charges, evidence that includes witnesses and safety officers. Yeah. I've been working with Michael Bay for about 25 years. He ain't killed none of them now pigeons.
He ain't never touched a pigeon
He has
before.
never killed a pigeon. And matter of fact, he's got pet pigeons. He feeds them. They're up on the roof right over there. You can see them.
There ain't no evidence left that could possibly prove it.
All right. We have clear video evidence, a multitude of witnesses and safety officers. Yeah, I already read that. Finally, Bay said he was offered a chance to pay a small fine to settle the issue, but he refused to pay since he does not intend to plead guilty. I was offered by the Italian authorities a chance to settle this matter by paying a small fine, but I declined to do so because I would not plead guilty to having harmed an animal, Bay clarified. Italy has a national law that prohibits the harming or killing of pigeons, as the country considers them a protected species. The court case against Bay is currently ongoing, so further specific details are currently under wraps. So, if you've learned anything from this show tonight, you now know that pigeons are protected in Italy, which makes perfect sense
For Italy.
if you are.
What did he say?
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, Cameron got the reference. I'm not sure Tim got the reference. Matthew might have got the reference. All
For
right,
those of you
I
who
did
are
not off
fans
the
of
top of my head.
Animaniacs,
Animaniacs.
the God Pigeon,
The God Pigeon.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
and the
Yes.
Good Feathers.
From the from
That's the
the,
only reason why they're a protective species is because of Animaniacs.
I think it might be. I think that absolutely might be the reason why is because of Animaniacs.
Buongiorno, I really like the Animaniacs show. Yeah, let's make that into a law.
Yeah. So
My Italian accent's not great.
It was not good at all. It's not
I-
even.
you could have fooled me on that being Italian
Yes.
because I don't.
Yeah.
I did not know what that was.
It was like
Italian was not what I went to.
It was like he started out trying to go Mario and then he just lost it somewhere in there. So anyway,
Good Chris Pratt impression though.
yeah, okay.
Absolutely nothing Italian about that whatsoever.
All right, so
Gotta throw that shade in there, Chris.
Gotta find it somewhere.
so anyway, if you
You're gonna love that movie.
if you ever go to Italy, beware of the pigeons. Just let them do what they do. Don't get mad if they drop something on you, let's say, because you can't do anything back.
All I can remember, all I think about when I'm hearing this story is that one character from Dragon Age, Shale, the dwarf
Yes.
woman who was
Death
stuck
to
as
all pigeons.
yes, that was her battle cry.
Yes, it was amazing. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to review the Willow season finale. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD. You just have that turned down.
What this? Italian is definitely
Mark, I think the God Pigeon has a lot of stroke in Italy, actually. Yeah,
makes sense.
it does. It does.
The pigeon mafia, they have ends.
And
It's the Italian
Yeah,
government.
and yes, Scooby Doo will
Yes.
get some love for sure. Scooby Doo is going to be in there, and of course TMNT will be in there.
I have a good German accent. Now I'm trying to talk myself up. I'm sorry.
It's okay, man. Let it go. You nailed the one before it. Not even close.
Yeah, that was bad.
What can I say? Other than
If you were in Italy, straight to jail.
yeah, well, no, I was so bad it wouldn't have killed any pigeons. There's no way. Wouldn't even got close. Me throat it hurts. Yeah, this thing is hanging on to me though. I cannot get rid of it. I mean, I'm definitely much better than what I was, but
Yeah. Yes, you were. Or yes, you are.
What's that guy's name?
I exist in multiple timelines of, past,
the
present
director?
tense. I just kind of get a
Michael
little jumbled.
Bay? Is that dude's name? No, that guy.
Because I was still, my throat was just kind of getting better,
Uh-huh.
but I went straight from starting to really recover to immediately talking for 3 hours.
Oh,
Yeah,
Doing
it's not-
newscasts, which was not good. So I basically, for the rest of this week until like yesterday, I was still feeling it a little bit.
Well,
does your
Rob,
voice get deeper?
No, it just gets weaker.
Okay.
Rob and I went back on the air for the first time yesterday, and Rob had to do what I'm doing, which for him is totally difficult, and that's keeping
How
it
did he
to-
survive?
He did it a couple times. He went above.
It's like
and he
his
had-
own voice
He had a
would
major
destroy
coughing
him.
fit, but it leaves you so weak that he just didn't have a whole lot to put in there. So.
Yeah. A buddy of mine, I think, also had this, and he could only just talk in a whisper.
I thought it was 15 seconds.
Stop faking the throw, Tim.
Mhm.
Never mind.
Stop thinking.
I said stop faking the throw.
You should-
faking
you
the
should
throw,
keep thinking.
pretending like it. Yeah,
I'm calling an audible here.
Do you have any more texts, by the way?
Yeah. We got a bunch.
Okay. Who's reading them?
You can read them.
I'm asking between the two of you. Who's reading the text?
I don't have the text line up.
All right, I guess it's you.
All right, between the two of you,
Somebody reading text up in here.
who's gonna be reading the text?
If I had the text line, I'd be happy to, but I don't.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Now, there, just if you could have heard the rejoin, listen, Billy and Mandy, classic Billy and Mandy. Such a weird cartoon.
I was
Why
allowed to
does-
watch it as a kid.
Why does Grimm sound like Sebastian from The Little Mermaid?
I don't know. Maybe look it up. Maybe it's the same voice
Is that the
actor.
same guy?
It's just kind of a Jamaican accent. Matthew, you said you were not allowed to.
I was not allowed to because, well, for obvious reasons.
Yes, it's kind of, yeah.
I
One of the
wasn't
main
allowed to
characters
watch
is
it
the Grim
either, but I
Reaper.
just watched it anyway.
You rebel, you.
I was
Such
a
a
bad
rebel.
kid.
And
I
then-
would, whenever my family wasn't around and it was on, I would sometimes try and peek at it because I did enjoy it. What little bit I did watch, but I mean, since then I've watched the entire series and I love it. But
Yeah,
all I could do is Billy is so stupid. I mean, I just and I knew some people growing up that were just like that. So it just, took me back to the old neighborhood. It's weird that I allowed someone to watch that, but didn't let them watch Ed, Ed and Eddie.
yeah, that is
Yeah,
that's a
just-
funny choice.
Yeah, well, I don't think that they
your rules and guidelines were a fluid thing.
Yes, well, I didn't think that.
You also let me play Diablo 2 when I was a child.
I did.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I did.
Thankfully for me, I couldn't understand what all the pixels were.
Yes, there's that. And Daryl is kind of, it's really large. All right, text line 71307. Tim is
All
not
right.
wearing his glasses today. So here's the thing. Make sure from this point forward for the next hour, send really long texts with really big words and maybe misspell some of them. Text
Oh,
line
yes.
71307.
Because I
those.
definitely enjoy those.
He gets mad at me about this.
Hey,
but,
you're
you know,
boarding the
it's-
struggle bus on your own volition here.
Yeah, what he said. All right, what are the texts?
All right. Texter writes, guys, would you comment on this week's controversy surrounding D&D's open game license update?
It's funny you should say that, but we have that coming up in the next hour when we're starting off with some games, and that's part of it.
All right. Texter writes, Lonzo, Johnny Quest beats all those other cartoons, hands down. But then again, I'm 66 years old. Jim and Easley.
I got you, Jim. I like the remake of Johnny Quest better.
Yeah, I liked the old one and the new one. Texter writes, how about the League of Super Evil? That smells.
Oh, I remember that as a kid.
You would.
That was fun.
He perked up when the League of Super Evil came
Well, it's
out.
not. It's one of those obscure cartoons that you
What
don't
was
hear
that
about
on?
much. It's not. It's a group of inept supervillains.
I thought that was
Oh, okay.
on something else though. I didn't think it was its own.
I don't
No, it was
remember
its own
this.
thing. Its own thing. Yeah.
Which made me
It was
just,
a fun little show. It wasn't
know,
like super amazing or anything,
no
but it was a
one's-
fun time.
which makes me think of Fuzzy Lumpkins, which makes me think of Powerpuff Girls.
League of what again?
Oh,
Super evil.
I just thought of a new one, Thundercats. Did,
Yeah,
did we say that yet?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. All right. It
You
is.
get it. The joke is that their acronym is lose.
Yeah, that's what he said in the text actually.
Oh, I did see this. Okay.
Texter writes, it is always about He-Man, G.I. Joe, or Transformers from the 80s. There is no comparison. Texter writes,
There are 3 different shows.
Baboon and Weasel. I don't know what that one is.
Yeah,
I've heard of it.
yeah,
I
I've heard
think
of it.
I've seen bits and pieces, but I don't really remember much of that.
All right.
Yeah, the baboon's butt is so prevalent. It's no. I've seen it. I've flipped past.
No, I
it's
know
like,
what you mean.
Why? It's like they focus on the butt the entire time. It's just I don't know.
Because I think, well, just a general rule, butts are funny.
Yeah, they are, and baboon butts are big. But anyway, go ahead.
All right. Some more cartoons here. We got Robotech, Captain.
Oh yeah, definitely
Harlock,
Robotech.
Harlock. Harlock. Did I say that right?
I don't know. I loved by the way, I loved Robotech. It was one of the first transforming mech type things that I'd ever seen. And it was like, wow, this is a really cool concept. And I really liked it.
Another request for Johnny Quest, Phantom 2040, Samurai Jack, Thundar the Barbarian,
Thundar.
Mr. Magoo.
Better not do that. Mr. Magoo, yes.
Text writes Lonzo, it all depends on what time of the day or night you drive on Woodruff. When you were talking about Woodruff Road, early morning, lunch, and going home suck. Other than that, it's okay. I don't know
And
what that was.
It's on Woodruff Road.
Yeah. And Saturday nights, they're not. Yeah.
Oh, other than that, it's okay. is
Yeah.
what they're saying. Okay. All right. Text to write. It's a pigeon.
Yes. No, they're answering the question.
Oh, okay. All right. I got you. All right.
Follow the timeline, Tim.
Well, the texts are broken up. So
It's okay. So we're good. Continue.
Let's see. I'm trying to find where this one starts. Okay, I got it. As a listener for 34 years, Lonzo, Ralph, Bristol, Russ, Castle, Lisa Robbins, Bob McLean, I feel consistent. I feel that you have been consistent throughout the years. Listening to you in 2023 is awesome. I wish you the best. Be safe. Stay focused. Buckle up, and God bless.
Thank you. And and I will continue on as long as I possibly can. Last week it was in question.
Last week there was no question for me.
Yeah, it's just,
I could not talk.
yeah. While I'm laying there listening to my lungs, like, which is still I'm having that problem. It's hard to sleep when you just hear this noise come out of somewhere, and it's just
It's never good to hear
when
yourself
you just take some
wheeze.
NyQuil and you pass out.
Well, I found some cold medicine
NyQuil.
last night that worked pretty good, and it actually is Alka-Seltzer. So
All right. We got three more.
That makes you sleepy, right?
yes.
Texter
Yes.
writes, when you change the word pigeon to squab, they're quite tasty when they are barbecued. That's-
Okay.
I don't know that I want to eat a pigeon. I associate them as the rats of the air
Yeah.
because they really are just kind of rats with wings. I'm gonna be honest. Have you ever seen a pigeon?
yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of gross.
A few more cartoons here. We got Thundercats owns all, and Blue Falcon and
Oh yes.
Dynamite.
Blue Falcon and Dynamite. I forgot all about that. That was great. And there was a crossover between them and Scooby Doo a couple of times.
Oh yeah.
That's a show I miss watching. is
Part of that
Scooby-Doo.
was the Scoob movie was like that was like the whole premise for it too.
Which movie?
The recent to theaters. Scooby-Doo
Oh,
movie.
that one. Okay.
I got to specify theater one and not the two.
I didn't like the
DVD
live
ones.
action ones. I like the cartoon movies better.
This is a cartoon one. This was like
Oh, okay.
2020, 2021.
Oh, okay, I got
Yeah.
I
probably
really
didn't watch it.
liked the live action, the first couple. I thought they were pretty good.
I don't think they're amazing or anything, but they're a
Yeah.
fun time,
Yeah.
especially as
you.
a kid.
Yeah, I mean,
when
I think they're
when they
good
came out for
family
me.
movies. But as far as like an actual movie, I wouldn't say.
There's actually a story about Scooby-Doo 2 where Tim Curry was supposed to be the main villain instead of Mr. Bean, and he found out Scrappy was in it, and then he just turned it down. He turned
I
down the
love
role
the
because
director of
Scrappy
those
2.
movies. There is a story that the entire goal of the director of those movies was to make the public hate Scrappy because he hated Scrappy.
All right, you listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD.
The man had a vendetta.
Yeah, he did. He executed it well.
Yup.
I think it's like for the live action ones, everybody was cast extremely well.
Yeah, Matthew Lillard as Shaggy was excellent. I loved that. And
Freddie Prinze Jr. as Freddie.
yeah, I thought
Sports.
that was good. And
Velma and
the Velma was excellent.
yeah, there was nobody in the Scooby Gang who didn't seem like they were part of the Scooby Gang. And we've lost Tim.
No, this text. This text is funny.
I don't remember what his name was, but the guy who played Shaggy was just so perfectly cast.
Matthew Lillard.
Matthew
That's
Lillard.
what we were just saying.
Yeah. Well, that's why I mention it because I heard that on my way out, so
Oh,
I was finishing that up.
He also got into a lot of like D&D like shows
Oh yeah.
later on.
I loved all the memes that came after the whole Ultra Instinct Shaggy
Oh
stuff.
God, yeah.
With
Yeah.
with
Where
the,
did that
the
even
cast
begin?
interviews because of the Phantasaur or whatever it was movie where he has the bikers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw
it
a
was
clip of
literally
that.
because
Save it.
Ultra Instinct became a thing like around that same time. So
Ah.
someone made an edit on YouTube that went viral.
And then people took that, grew it into a meme, and then
Yeah, but what I was saying was the cast interviews where they took screenshots of it and they just put text of talking about the
Oh,
actor like he was
yeah, dude.
actually this god.
Yes,
this
yes.
godly being.
he only just used 1% of his power because otherwise he would shatter the whole universe.
Yeah.
That sounds like All Might. He can only use like so much of his power.
All Shaggy. That sounded better in my head.
Dude, I saw a meme of Shaggy skateboarding. It was hilarious the other day. I should have posted it. I would have.
Like,
and then
it's time to shred, dude.
yeah, dude, it was awesome.
I wish I could do a really good Shaggy voice. I wish.
That wasn't bad.
No, but it's not as good as some of my other voices. So
And
I've heard a lot of people.
Of the voices I've heard, I think Solid Snake is actually your best so far.
I agree.
He's gonna go Raggy, Radio Red. It's okay. We're at the halfway point.
I know. Just getting a breath.
Need a pep talk?
Speaking of breath, I was telling Rob this. I told your mom this. She thought it was. She said I need to stop it while I'm laying there trying to go to sleep and you can only hear the thing. I was wondering if that's what a last breath sounds like.
Oh,
Yeah, because
that's the problem with you. You're way too existential.
well, I mean, I think of things.
Yes.
It's
And then
some-
the things torment you for a while.
and
I
it-
get that.
and
I
it-
think of things too.
and sometimes when I say them out loud, it's not a good idea.
When you're surrounded by deep thinkers, it's a great idea. When you're not, or people who that sounded more rude than I was going for, but you understand what I'm going
I
for,
just
right?
want a lot of people going, whoa.
You want a Keanu reaction.
Yes. I live every day for a Keanu reaction.
It's good we have Tim in here.
1, 2, 4, save. Close that. Record this. And
I swear I thought he said butt virus.
you need to unclog your ears, sir.
Now be careful about the butt virus.
I just did. Man, it's like
That definitely got Matthew's attention.
butt virus.
The butt virus.
Podcasts.
Now you listen to how close to see if he says butt again.
Yes.
What? There's a green comment?
Today's
Comment.
14th. That's right. Okay.
I didn't do it.
That over here. Do the same thing over here.
Wow. Thanks for the explanation.
Yeah,
Hence
thanks.
the name Green Comet.
As opposed to a blue comet. Why do I feel like it's just Lord Slug? He just keeps missing. I'll get the Dragon Balls at some point. All right, let me get this straight.
By the way, have
Creepy
the,
power,
video
big
game
dumb strong guy.
intro ready?
Pretty one, stupid one with weird power.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, I got it in. Do you want me to come? No, because
All right. You're not
Right.
tough.
I love.
That's better. Hey,
We said we
I
talked.
love that sequence. That sequence where he just keeps knocking him all over the place.
Yeah, that was a really good little Looney Tunes.
I said we talk about Willow and we didn't.
We'll talk about him in the next segment, right?
Well, we had a lot of text.
We did, which we are grateful for. Keep them
Yeah.
coming. 71307.
Up high, down low, too slow.
I made it longer before I burn out than I thought I would. So
Are you burning out now?
prepare for stupidity.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
Welcome into hour number 2 of the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo here along with T2 and Matthew and Cameron. We're having a blast on a Saturday night. If you want to see what we look like, you want to say, Lonzo, you're having excellent hair day today. You're rivaling Tim's hair, and you'd be right. He's shaking his head, but it's true. I mean, because here's the thing. I am in my 50s. Tim is not. So, I'm a couple of decades older than Tim. My hair still looks as good. So, but if you want to see it, you can go onto Facebook at 106.3 WORD,
We'll take
the
a
Upstate
poll.
Pulse, or Alonzo on words. Not
I need a
necessary.
haircut.
You do, man. Look pretty shaggy.
God, you
Uh,
hippie.
You can also,
I go to an actual hairstylist, and because it's just they know what to do, it's like $20. So
What's a
it's not much more than,
hairstylist?
like going to great.
I've never seen one of those.
yeah,
But they're
What's a
they're
barber?
always so busy. I scheduled an appointment a month ago, and the earliest time they had that was available for me in my schedule was the start of February.
do they know who you are?
Oh yeah, I've been going to them for a few years.
I mean, that should get you moved in a little bit quicker, I would think.
I mean, maybe, but also they know a lot of people that go to them regularly. So yeah,
Okay. All right.
I'm just saying, I save so much money on haircuts.
As do
man.
I. Although,
I mean, I only get a haircut like every 3, maybe 4 months. So
Yeah.
yeah, I only
my
did.
hair grows kind of slow.
Only got it once last year. So I'm due to get a haircut, and every time I think I'm going to go get one, something happens, like getting sick. I was going to do it last week. So, and don't get any ideas, people, as you have done for over a couple decades.
Hey, how about you buzz your head?
Yes, those ideas, because
Love those. They're so original.
that's not happening. You don't need to get angry about it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
It was
it's
bringing back memories.
it's okay. It's all right, because long hair is a rail against stereotypes, because when you walk in a room, people look at you and they have a certain idea of who you are and what you are, and they're wrong, because they shouldn't judge you by your appearance, but by your character and by what's in your heart. But there's all that. And there's also the fact that long hair really makes people mad, so I'm going to keep it. Anyway, you pick which one, and it could be a combination of all of those things.
That last one's my favorite. though.
Speaking of long hair, a lot of long hair in the Willow series, and we're going to spoil a little bit.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
we are.
Yeah,
That's fine.
We're going to spoil a little
I
bit.
considered watching it, but it's fun.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, so you guys aren't into it. Cameron and I are, because one of the very first fantasy movies to ever get close to getting magic and knights and all that kind of stuff right was Willow, and they came out with a series. They're pushing certain agendas but it's Disney, so they're going to do that. But the overall feel of the show reminds you of the movie, and the season finale just happened, and I was pretty excited about it, because there's a particular voice that had been missing. So originally Val Kilmer was in the movie, but as you may or may not know, he's had cancer and he can't really talk. He was unavailable during the filming because they were filming during COVID, so he couldn't actually be on the show, but his voice is on there. But it's a younger Mad Mardigan. And I haven't looked into it, but I'm guessing that either they took a lot of his old vocal work or they used AI to synthesize his voice. I don't know how they did it, but it sounded like a young Val Kilmer.
They could have gone with the same method that they used for Top Gun 2.
Yeah, but in Top Gun 2, he sounded old. In this,
You're right, he did.
in
I
this,
didn't think about that.
in this, he sounded like he sounded when he did the original movie. So
Maybe for the sampling, they used younger voice lines for this, and then for Top Gun, they used older ones.
they
to
have
synthesize
they
it.
have an AI program to do it.
Yeah.
And so, but anyway, it was really cool to hear his voice. There's a character, Kit, who I couldn't stand. By the end of the show, still don't like her, but she got to wear sweet armor. and that was really cool. The effects are really good. They really are. And then there's Borman, who is the best character in the
Yes,
entire
he is
thing.
absolutely
Yes.
the best character in the entire thing.
Yes.
Has all the best lines, including when he jumped into the
so what it is, it's basically a bunch of smart alecks, and that's that kind of humor.
It's like if we all went on a quest.
A bunch of snappy one-liners in the midst of about being ready to die. Exactly. They all had gallows humor, and I love that.
You can tell that they're all still scared, but they're
Yeah.
all just making jokes anyway.
Because you're either going to cry or you're going to cower or you're just going to make jokes about it. And you'd like to think that you're going to do that. And I've probably been in some situations where I shouldn't joke, and I have, because that's
I think we've all done that.
yeah, that's my go-to. It's like, okay, let me lighten this situation, even though I can't really lighten this situation. Let's see. Mark says, despite some wokeness, which is what I was talking about, Willow's a good show. I wish Val Kilmer could have been in it more. Borman makes the show. Yes, he absolutely does. And who knows, when they do season 2, maybe Val Kilmer could actually be in it, and that would be kind of cool.
Which would be nice.
Yeah. It would.
And the other thing is that they're from the books that were shown, they have up to volume 3 that they're probably going to do,
right.
that they plan on.
So unless it gets canceled, you got 2 more seasons to hopefully work his way in there. So if you haven't watched it, check it out. I mean, I thought it was pretty good.
There was one moment that really threw us for a loop, though.
What, when we thought someone was dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Especially how
it was a
happened.
Krillin moment. So if you know what a Krillin Friesen moment, remember when Frieza killed Krillin? It was kind of one of those moments, and you thought, okay, she just exploded that dude, and it's a character that you loved during the entire show, and
Yeah.
he was just gone. And it turns out he wasn't. He was just shoved through a door. But
Yeah.
but
He was just evaporated, not obliterated.
yeah, it was. We're all like, no, I like that.
Just immediately shout, kill her,
And-
take her down.
It's actually the actor who played Flash Thompson on the latest Spider-Man movies.
Texter writes, Lonzo, the guy in the top hat, is Ric Flair. I didn't know if that has anything to do with Willow, but
I'll get it later because I'm sick and I'm slow.
oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought maybe it had something to do with Willow, but
No.
Also, Willow himself was really good in this.
Yeah.
It's always good to see him.
Yes. And he's the biggest smart aleck of them all.
Of course.
And,
He has the best lines. too.
and he also in the end shows up with some serious magic. Which
basically holds back an army of undead.
yes, he does. It's really, really good. So check it out if you haven't had a chance. Bad Batch. We discussed a little bit earlier about cartoons. By the way, if you have cartoon suggestions for our bracket, send it to us on the text line 71307 or on stream. We're keeping track of all those. We're going to put them all together, throw in some other stuff, and we may have to argue to make some things work. Not a lot of anime suggestions, so get those to us. Bad Batch. Matthew, not a big fan of Bad Batch?
I have not seen anything from the new season yet.
Okay.
I do need to watch it. I just learned that it was starting like yesterday and didn't have a chance to watch it yet. But the first season, yeah, it wasn't bad or anything. I enjoyed it overall for the most part, but it definitely wasn't a standout, super fun time. Just kind of this was entertaining enough kind of deal. So
I like Omega. I do. There are certain characters I don't really like at all. Like the latest episode. I can't stand the guy, and it's annoying.
Well, to be fair, that kind of character is the friend or the brother that you still love, but you have a major disagreement with.
It's not about that. It's about the stiffness of the character. It's about the character voice. There's just some things I don't like the way the character's written. I just don't. I don't get why he warrants having an entire episode to himself.
Because more than likely that's going to change.
Probably, but at least you got to see Commander Cody.
Yes.
So there's that.
Which Commander Cody in the entire episode was really good. And you could definitely, not to spoil too much, but you can definitely see the discrepancy between the Republic and the Empire. as far as how things are going, how things are represented.
As they start to phase out the clones and bring in their own recruits and
Yeah, the TK troopers.
yeah. So I mean, it's Star Wars. You're if you like Star Wars, you're probably going to like it. Mark says it was good to see what Commander Cody is up to. Yeah, and you got to see what he did at the end, which is, if you're ever curious about what.
Now,
he does.
by the way, that's two different meanings possibly with that.
Yeah,
It's either he left on his own volition or
yeah, I was trying not to spoil.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's why I left it vague.
My bad.
There we go.
For it.
All right, one other thing.
The secret word is
one other thing before we take a break. Someone, and I don't remember who it was, and I apologize, suggested I check out Warrior Nun, and I'm like, okay. But as I'm sick and just looking for stuff to binge as I lay there and die, which didn't happen, I started watching it and watched like 4 episodes in a row. It's like, okay, this is pretty good. So I have finished the entire first season and it's not bad other than some, agendas being pushed. There are some definitely interesting ideas when it comes to church and science, and the effects are really good. And the demons, the fighting of the demons and possession and a lot of things like that. Very, very interesting. And
What is that on?
Netflix.
Netflix?
Yeah,
It's called
so-
The Warrior Nun.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are 2 seasons and it just got canceled, if I recall. So, but there are 2 seasons. And the first season, well, I don't want to spoil, but it ends in a way where you're like, oh, okay. So
cliffhanger.
yeah, well,
It's not a cliffhanger. It's just kind of like
yeah, I don't want to go any further. So anyway, check it out if you get a chance. So because that was such a great suggestion, if you guys have any other suggestions for us to check out and possibly review, text us 71307 or on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch or Twitter. And as time permits, we'll try to get to some of those. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD. Nancy, did I ask you to have your favorite game of 2022 ready?
No, you did not.
All right. Well, you got like 3 or 4 minutes. That's plenty of time.
It's probably in the back of your head, right? It's right in the back of your head.
Yeah, it's Elden Ring unless I can think of anything else. I think what else came out in 2022.
Trey, I've heard a lot of parents talk about how good Bluey is.
I've watched some episodes of Bluey.
yeah, me too.
I don't get why a family of dogs has a dog. It just bothers me. It
It's
doesn't.
just like having Goofy and then having Pluto.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know why I said Pluto so weird, but Pluto.
So a family of dogs
Right.
has a little dog that they treat like a dog, and that's the only.
Is the little dog a baby?
No, it's a dog. See, that's the only part about Bluey that I don't get. So I mean, other than that, it's a really good show. I agree. Granddaughter likes it.
Looking up new releases for this year.
I'm literally looking at a list of 2022 releases.
Oh, okay.
Just scrolling through and seeing if anything stands out in my memory aside from Elden Ring.
I think there are a lot of MMO releases and stuff, but
Yeah, there were a few like Lost Art, but Lost Art just didn't keep my attention long enough.
I'll say this Dragonflight came out last year too. For WoW.
Yeah, I never got into WoW. I tried and it just wasn't really my thing.
I gotcha. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Dragonflight
I love
though,
MMOs, but not the stand there and stand-in abilities. The point in the tab targeting
Yeah.
MMOs. I'm not a huge fan of.
Anybody remember?
You'd probably be more of an Elder Scrolls
Yeah.
online fan, right?
I played some Elder Scrolls Online. I enjoy it. I used to love Terra Online. Was one of the MMOs that I really
Launchpad and
loved
Quack.
I've
growing up.
heard of, but I've never seen anything.
Launchpad.
It's dead
Not
now.
Oh yeah,
Like earlier in 2022.
Also,
it
didn't
fin-
mention
the servers
DuckTales.
finally
Now that I'm thinking
closed,
about
well,
that.
which
the
was really
text there
sad. But
mentioned DuckTales.
Did you ever
and I
play
thought
SWTOR?
immediately
That's more
thought of,
tap targeting stuff. So
yeah, I did actually like that a little bit.
Didn't mention
but
Chip
not
and
a-
Dale's Rescue
It
Rangers.
still
either.
had that
Chip and
gameplay that
Dale.
I wasn't
Yeah.
a huge fan of, so I didn't stick with it. But I liked it more than like WoW.
there's a lot more customization and like single player story too. So
Yeah, there was one of the only MMOs I've ever played that had a fun story. So
By the way,
Which
I
one?
was playing that in college, and my roommate was just like, "Cameron, stop electrocuting everybody. He was your friend, wasn't he?" I was like,
You're talking
"Yeah,
about
but he was a
SWTOR.
traitor. I just got rid of him to tie up a loose end." Now I have Corellia.
So
No, SWTOR's
I
free.
got
Still is.
whatever the subscription for SWTOR for like
we all
1 or
had
2
the
months one
computer.
time. I think there was a deal, and I got 3 months for the price of one time. And after that, I had mentioned it previously to a friend of mine who wanted to play. And since after one of the really good things about SWTOR was after you do subscription once, you permanently have extra benefits for your account for the rest of the time. And so my buddy hopped onto my account, and we basically shared my account.
Mhm.
And he does refills and stuff a lot on the game. So whenever I come back, I always check it out because there's just a laundry list of purchases that he has made
Mm.
that I get for free technically. So oh fuck. Where did it?
All right, it's time to talk some video games. We've been a lot of times video games is pushed to the side when we get, you know, I don't want to say sidetracked because we're not on tracks. We never will be.
Is
There's-
this whole show just one giant rabbit hole?
There is no. This is just how my mind works. So What-
Unfathomable.
yeah, don't use words that are so big. It does have depth, and there are dark spaces.
Use smaller words, bro.
Yeah, bro, come on. All right, so in 2022, the top selling video games. I want to tell you what the top 10 are. Then I want to ask everyone out there, including everyone in the room, what their favorite video game of 2022 was. So number 10 was MLB The Show. Not any sports gamers in here really. Number 9 was FIFA 23. I think that might be soccer. Number 8 was Horizon 2 Forbidden West. I played Horizon 1. I really liked that.
I really liked Horizon 1 too.
Yeah. Number 7 was Pokemon Scarlet / Violet. Number 6 was Pokemon Legends Arceus. I was waiting.
Arceus.
I was waiting. I was waiting for Matthew. That's why I looked at
The
it.
name has been pronounced like 3 or 4 different ways, all canonically. So who knows?
Okay, so you're saying I was right. Okay. Number 5 is God of War Ragnarok. Number 4 was Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Number 3, Madden NFL 23. Number 2 was Elden Ring. And number 1 was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It beat Elden Ring, huh?
Well, yeah, as far as sales go. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So this
that
was
makes sense.
This was just as far as sales go.
I'm kind of surprised that Scarlet and Violet were not a little higher on there, but at the same time, they came out at the very end of the year, so that makes a little bit of sense.
Didn't,
Because
they
Scarlet and
wouldn't have
Violet
s-
broke the record as the fastest selling console exclusive
Didn't,
of all time, I believe.
Didn't Assassin's Creed Ragnarok come out in 2022? Or was that 2021?
No, it was a couple years ago.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Tim, what was your favorite game of 2022?
Well, being that I have not really started Elden Ring yet, I'm gonna have to go with Modern Warfare 2. It's the only game I've really been playing.
So you're playing the number 1 selling game, and that's what I figured.
Yeah,
that you would go. with.
and it's actually really good. The campaign and it's really really good. Even though I haven't quite finished it yet, I'm at the end of it, but I wanted to play the campaign with Skylar. So me and him are gonna play whenever I get some time to do that. But the campaign's really good in it, and the multiplayer is really fun. If you like, first person shooters, it's really good.
All right, Matthew, what was your favorite game?
So I'm kind of tossed up a little bit. Pokemon Scarlet was the most fun that I've had with a Pokemon game in the past decade, at least, which has been a fantastic change of pace. But there were still some issues with the game. And I think just my love of FromSoft games just kind of pushes Elden Ring up there enough to where I definitely think Elden Ring is my
Deep
favorite
down,
game
you
of the
are
year.
a sun, bro.
Deep down.
He's
Deep down.
praising the sun, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what that is. That's a reference to the game. Nothing else. I don't know why I said it like that. Because it's not. It is just a reference to the game, but
it touched you deeply.
Yes, nothing else.
Nothing else.
Cameron, what was your favorite game?
This is going to be a landslide here, but Elden Ring. I played a couple of really good games over the year, and like the games that always get updated, like Stellaris and Destiny. But as far as new releases, Elden Ring was fantastic, and I didn't think that they could get any better from Dark Souls 3 because of just how that story ended, and it was so good, so impactful, so bittersweet in a way. And then they come out with this brand new thing, and they scale all the magic up to about like a 12 out of 10, and just absolutely go bananas with the world building and everything. So I absolutely loved it.
All right. What was your favorite game of 2022? Text line 71307 or hit us up on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube. We got a couple on stream right now. Trey says, I bought a PS5 God of War Ragnarok bundle this week. I've never gotten into the God of War games. The salesman said it would have won Game of the Year if Elden Ring didn't win it. It was killing me because usually if there's a God of War game out there, just all the critics just go nuts over it and it wins automatically. And Cameron and I were watching the Game Awards thinking, no way Elden Ring wins.
Well, the other funny part is,
but they did. It did. So,
well, the other thing is, I was talking to you. I was like, Dad, you don't have a team. This isn't sports.
Oh, it was a team. I made it. So the thing is, and you can say it's my contrarianism or whatever. But when I hear a game push so much and it starts winning things over games that I know are really good or anything in general, and I haven't had anything to do with it, chances are I'm not going to play it because I have a deep-seated problem with it now. And so it's,
ladies and gentlemen, the word of the night is spite.
Yeah, it's not spite. It's not spite. It is not spite. I just, wow, that's popular. That should not win. It won because I seriously doubt everyone who says it's great really believes it's great.
So
I think they're just following. I think it's following trends bother me. And a lot of times I believe that that's what something like this is. And
here's something that I
you're
with
saying
you.
that Modern Warfare 2 doesn't deserve to be number one?
No, we weren't even talking about that. I was talking
why are you putting this in here?
And
That's
plus
not
that has to do with sales. We're talking about.
I
Game
thought you were
Awards.
talking about the game. I thought
talking about Game
that was
Awards.
the same thing. That's
So
my
I'll say
fault.
this: for the most part, like 90% of the time, when you take this position, I usually agree with you because what they choose as popular isn't usually as good as some of the stuff that we like. But it's one of those things of like you can tell God of War is actually a good game.
Everything that I've seen about God of War looks amazing. I don't have a PS5 to play it, unfortunately, and
Yeah,
I'm not going
that's
to be
the thing.
getting a PS5 to play it.
All right.
I'm not a big fan of God of War. Like
Steve?
I've played the first couple, and I just not into that.
I will say modern
too linear
God of
for
War
me.
is very different from classic God of War in a lot of really good ways too, though. They made Kratos a character, which is
Okay.
As opposed to just rage.
as opposed to Rage Incarnate, which is fun.
1 through
And
3, yeah.
1 through 3 are super fun games, but they're not exactly like stories.
It's just him killing all of Olympus
Exactly.
All right.
because they wronged him.
Steven says, I won an MLB show on the Rob Brown show and really liked it. Won MLB the show. Yeah, it's cool. I remember you winning that. And I'm not into sports games anymore.
I like Tiger Woods. That's
I used to
about
love the Mario sports games as a kid because they are amazing.
well,
That's a different thing.
yeah,
it. Yeah.
like Wii Sports.
You're right. I'm sorry.
I
You're
loved-
right. They're good games.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
sorry.
I loved
They're
Wii,
games that everybody can do. Not,
Wii Sports. I mean, Wii bowling. I mean, we used to do Wii bowling all the time.
I'll say this. I
we did
find
Wii bowling.
I
That was
fi-
fun.
I find regular sports games to be really boring because when you can play them out in the real world, it would be more preferable to do it out in the real world.
Why would I play regular soccer when I can play Mario Strikers and literally tackle people into electrocuted fences?
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
right
I mean, I
there.
agree.
Wait, you don't
Yeah.
do that in
I
regular
do like the Tiger
rec soccer?
Woods though.
Apparently not.
Apparently,
I like
yeah.
Tiger Woods because it's so technical. Like it is that technical, and you kind of have to, you got to be like strategic when you're hitting the ball and stuff like that. So, I mean, I would put that. I would make an exception for something like that. But,
Okay.
It's
Alright.
cool, but it's about what kind of experience you want for sure.
Right.
The other thing is, I don't detract anybody from actually enjoying sports games. It's just my cup.
And
It's
I've
not
also-
my cup of tea.
Exactly.
I've also been using it to learn more about sports. So.
There you go. Hey, it's as a learning tool. Why not? Those things are
Yeah.
designed to be as realistic as possible. So yeah,
Exactly.
Is it like the simulations?
I don't know, but like I've been I wanted to get one of the football games to try to learn more about that, but
well, there's a couple on Game Pass right now for free.
Yeah.
So I mean, check out one of the Maddens for free.
I used
on
to
Game
play
Pass.
Madden with my brother a long time ago. I haven't in years.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about something that we did a couple weeks ago. We never got to. It's a free plug. There's in Simpsonville. There is a place called the Pinball Warehouse, and we had talked about for years going to this place. And did we already talk about it?
No, I don't think we
Okay,
did.
all right. You give me that look, and I don't care if we did, because chances are there's
No,
someone
I
out
think
there
you
who
blended
didn't.
names, but
There-
go on.
There's someone out there who did not hear us talk about the Pinball Warehouse if we actually did. Pinball Museum at the warehouse at Vaughn's. Thank you. I get.
If we're
he was
plugging
giving me.
them- no,
he was
if
giving
we're-
me the look, and I got it. All
Okay.
right. So anyway, a couple weeks ago, I was on vacation. Rob Brown was on vacation. Chris Evans was on vacation, and we got together and we went over and checked it out because we have been wanting to do that. You walk in to the place, you pay, I believe it was $10, and they give you a wristband, and you can just stay there all day and play. And what it is, I mean, immediately when I walked in, one of the first things I said is, "Man, this smells like an arcade." And there's a young kid sitting at the desk taking it. I don't think he got what I meant. And it's impossible to, if you weren't there like in the 80s and smelled what an arcade smelled, but it's not a bad smell. It's just, it just has a smell to it when you walk into a real arcade. And
There's a
Bowling
distinct
alleys are like
plastic
that
smell.
too.
no, you're right. Bowling alleys are like that.
Bowling
Yeah.
alleys are like
Oh,
that.
I
get it.
Yeah.
And so it
Movie theaters too.
the smell took me back to
I worked
the
at a movie theater, so I have bad memories of smells at movie theaters.
yeah the smell took me back.
You and I have different ideas of what movie theaters smell like.
Smell took me back to the 80s when I used to spend a lot of time at a couple of different arcades. One of them was Aladdin's Castle, and the other one was at a place called Putt Putt, and spend a lot of time in there. So anyway, you can go in there and you pay the money. They got a bunch of nostalgic games like in a case, like Merlin, a bunch of old games, handheld games, like old time football games and stuff like that. They're really cool to look at. But then you can walk over and you can play any game. And first game we went to play, I had told Cameron forever about the controller stalk for the game Tron and what it's like and how and it's as bad as I remember.
God, that was horrible.
Yes. But if you played it enough, you get better at it.
Oh, I'm sure I could have mastered anything in there, but boy, the beginnings just always sucked for me.
Yeah. So they also had like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We got on that and was playing that for a little bit.
On a sweat on that one.
Yes, there was. Also Gauntlet. We played some Gauntlet. And then
Nice.
Cameron played real-time pinball for the first time ever.
You never played
No, I had
real
never-
pinball before?
I'd only played like the space one on Microsoft.
Oh, for
that
real?
was it.
I played a real pinball machine before, and they're so fun.
I've played on a couple real pinball machines before because at Disney World there's a little downtown Disney thing that used to have a 5-story arcade. So that I know exactly. I am familiar with the Tron controls. Oh God, I hate it.
Yeah.
And but they also had like a section with a bunch of different pinball things, and I got to play some of those before. I hate that place doesn't exist anymore. They tore it down or changed it
Yeah,
to
that's
something
a place
else.
I've never been. Is Disney World.
Yeah.
I need to go.
And I enjoyed pinball. I had a couple moments where every single run that got stopped it just went down the middle. There's no saving it. It's like,
Yeah, it
Don't you hate
happens.
that?
That's just pinball.
well, it's one of those things of when it comes to luck, I don't do well at it. If there's any sort of luck involved, if it's all according to my skill,
Luck's
I at
not
least
real.
feel like
You make your own luck.
Well, Cameron and myself and Rob Brown of the Rob Brown Show, we spend a lot of time on pinball, and I hadn't played in a long time, but I actually remembered how to I don't know if it's called a stall or whatever. I was like, hey, Cameron, look, when I grabbed the ball and had it on the edge of the on the flipper without letting it go, and some things like that. I tried to get Cameron to shove the machine a little bit.
I'm not doing that. I don't want to break it.
No, it's called
Man.
it's called a tilt. And
I understand
and
that.
it will tilt, and once you tilt, the ball just goes down the middle, and you're done with that game, with that particular ball.
Texter writes, there's a difference between pinball and flipper. Pinball was a gambling machine, and flipper was a for fun machine. Jim and Easley.
Okay, all right. So we were playing flipper anyway. We had a lot of fun, and if you get a chance, go check it out. It was pretty cool. All right, we need to take a break, but we're going to talk about this D&D thing. And we're going to do it when we come back. Listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD.
Back on time that we're going to do that with.
What?
No, but that's not what we're talking about.
Oh.
We're talking about the OGL.
Oh.
I thought that you were aware of that.
I am.
Yeah.
You guys are aware that's been rescinded, right?
Supposedly.
Oh, thank God.
Yes.
Supposedly.
Yes.
Because everybody.
Yeah, everybody hated it for good reason.
They somehow united everybody in hatred of them.
Good job. Good job, Wizards of the Coast. You've been doing that a lot recently. Good
Yeah.
job.
We'll get more into that on the air.
As also being a Magic the Gathering player, they have been making people hate them
I'm
for a
sorry.
while now.
I've
Yeah.
heard that a lot of Magic the Gathering.
They've been
fans-
monetizing Magic the Gathering in the worst possible ways in the past few
Ghost of
years. to try
Tsushima
and
or
milk
Tsushima
it
was
dry.
an excellent, or Tsushima was an excellent game tray.
So they've ruined all good faith that anybody had with them
Yeah.
for Magic for a while, and now also for D&D.
Because everybody just decided, what? We're just going off on our own. But we do need to get on Rob for the next episode.
Yeah, because I wanna play again.
I want to get to the interrogation.
Well, football season's
gonna be
almost
fun.
over, but he's in the midst of hockey, and he works for hockey because he has 27 jobs. So,
Only got 27 jobs.
he's got 27 jobs. And we have one more break after this, right?
Yes, we have one break and then the closing break.
One thing I'm looking forward to is Larry gets to do his first interrogation of this campaign.
Might actually
God.
make it without breaking down. I'm so
Oh,
excited.
God.
Got it, man.
Oh, trust me, I'm gonna use everybody for this.
Oh no, your character is not a character that is going to give anybody a fun time and something like that.
What?
Oh,
It's a fun time for me.
oh God, for everybody, for nobody except for you.
Garrick is gonna go when Garrick sleeps at night. He's just gonna be like,
Oh God.
"What have I gotten myself into?"
Oh God.
You know, it's fun giving the orc nightmares.
Yes.
You're cool with it though.
Yes. No, I'm never good with nightmares.
Well, no, not with nightmares, but good with the things that we're doing.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm expecting out of you. It shouldn't be a lot right now. Oh God, yeah. I forgot my shoulders hurt. I did some very heavy shrugs this week.
I sometimes believe that Cameron and I are the only ones who think that's just so funny to rejoin. But you know,
I think we're the only ones who've seen it.
no, there's a bunch of people out there have seen A Knight's Tale.
It's still one of my favorite movies of all
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
I'm so glad I got the.
I've seen it once.
School too.
It's you watch. That's one of those movies you watch a couple times and you see things that you didn't see before, and then when you also realize that the author in there was an actual author.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Because it's part of the Canterbury Tales. A Knight's Tale is part of the Canterbury Tales.
Oh, okay.
yeah. So Geoffrey Chaucer actually.
I don't know
Writer.
who any of these.
You know, I
people
feel
are.
like Geoffrey Chaucer right now.
Yeah, I often do.
Did you not have Brit Lit in high school?
Did I have who?
British literature.
I feel like
British
we need to
British
abandon
literature?
this.
No, I did not.
When you said Britlet, he thought Britney Spears. He just like what?
I mean, for real.
And
What?
Tim said, "It's gonna be May."
All right, that was so
Britlet.
bad. All right, so let's talk about Dungeons and Dragons. There's a thing that Wizards of the Coast did that made a lot of people mad.
You're gonna have to be more specific. That's very vague to a lot of things.
It's
Yeah,
okay,
especially for us.
because I'm not going to be specific. Cameron is.
Matthew will also be specific with me, just to fill in the gaps that I more than likely will have, because I'm sure that you've read up on this too.
For the most part, yeah.
So basically, if I can recall correctly, Dungeons and Dragons is worked off of an open gaming license.
They have an open gaming license since the 80s or 90s, I believe 80s.
Yes.
That basically just means that, hey, if you want to make a third-party thing with Dungeons and Dragons, you can do that.
And the other thing is they aren't going to monetize it. They aren't going to do anything like that. You are free to do so.
That's why there's
They
so
don't-
much awesome third-party stuff out there for D&D.
Exactly. They've allowed the freedom to the community to do something like that and let their creativity run wild. And they also put in a clause of this gaming license will never be rescinded. It's actually in that particular license. So the issue is Wizards of the Coast is going full trying to monetize everything, trying to take back the entirety of that open gaming license, saying that any third-party content is essentially theirs now. They own the rights to it. They essentially will, be paid royalties by that person, even if it's something that's like not even technically Dungeons and Dragons. It's just based off of that particular OGL. And what it does is they're trying to tamp down and get rid of competitors. They've created competitors in this way, because you've seen the stuff from like Paizo and like the guys who've made Pathfinder, Cobalt Press, all these other big third-party people. They've really upset them to where they were working with them in a more neutral sense, because Wizards have done other things back and forth and being very bullying in a lot of ways, but they've essentially declared open warfare on third parties. And
all right, so they did, but they've since rescinded it. Here's a statement from Wizards of the Coast. When we initially conceived of revising the OGL, it was with three major goals in mind. First, we wanted the ability to prevent the use of D&D content from being included in hateful and discriminatory products. Second, we wanted to address those attempting to use D&D in Web3 blockchain games and NFTs by making clear that OGL content is limited to tabletop role-playing content like campaigns, modules, and supplements. And third, we wanted to ensure that the OGL is for the content creator, the home brewer, the aspiring designer, our players, and the community, not major corporations to use for their own commercial and promotional purposes. Driving these goals were
let me stop you real quick.
I call
So-
full on every single point. On
there is that, but the fact that the major corporation is trying to say that about major corporations, they're saying that to the little guys. It's like,
we're trying to help the little guys by milking them for everything they're worth.
and they're acting like they are the little guys.
No.
all right. And
I mean, that's what it sounds like
Yeah.
to me from an outsider's perspective.
Continue, good sir.
Yes, I will continue with what Wizards of the Coast statement was. Driving these goals were two simple principles. Our job is to be good stewards of the game, and the OGL exists for the benefit of the fans. Nothing about those principles has wavered for a second. That was why our early drafts of the new OGL included the provisions they did. That draft language was provided to content creators and publishers so their feedback could be considered before anything was finalized. In addition to language allowing us to address discriminatory and hateful conduct and clarifying what types of products the OGL covers, our drafts included royalty language designed to apply to large corporations attempting to use OGL content. It was never our intent to impact the vast majority of the community. However, it's clear from the reaction that we rolled a 1. It has become clear that it is no longer possible to fully achieve all 3 goals while still staying true to our principles.
So the only reason that this OGL happened was because of money, because we literally got a leaked board meeting information where the board and shareholders literally said, hey, Dungeons and Dragons isn't monetized enough. We need to monetize this more.
Because Hasbro realized that they're making half their money from Wizards of the Coast.
Exactly. And so they asked for D&D to be more monetized, and that's where the OGL came from. That is the only reason that it happened.
Yep.
No,
And they're being very, very unfriendly to consumers.
Exactly.
In this way.
No.
All right, so there you go. We'll find out what's going to happen with this in the future. They say they're backing off. We'll see. All right. You are listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD.
So the other thing to say about this is more than likely they're just using this to buy time and hope that people forget.
Oh, that's exactly what they're doing. That's why they brought up things that people also hate and said, we were trying to stop these horrible
Yes,
things.
they're trying to use that as a
we were trying to stop them from putting D&D in blockchain.
Of all the things,
God.
why in the world would you even? Oh, God.
Tim, you know what a blockchain is?
Sorta.
I don't.
I know it has something.
And then
to do
trying to hide behind trying to stop
has something to do
discrimination.
with,
It's just like, guys, come on.
So the blockchain is kind of
It's like
like a digital
encrypting-
receipt kind of thing to
it
show that.
encrypts like your transactions.
No, it's basically, well, kind of. It's a digital receipt. It's
Yeah.
literally what it is. It's a really crappy thing to try and turn digital stuff into stocks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but stocks that have absolutely no backing and can fluctuate with nothing whatsoever. So it's a really volatile and really exploitable stock market.
You mean like Bitcoin or something?
It's sort of.
But even worse, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, thanks to everybody for sending all the cartoons in. It's going to be fun trying to put this together, but it's always a challenge every year.
Yeah, let's talk about something that puts me in a good mood and not something like the OGL.
Well, we
need to cover it.
The first,
Oh, yeah.
first thing in the lightning round probably will put you in a good mood.
Awesome.
By the way, something I was telling them, but I hadn't quite told you yet because I hadn't seen you in like a couple weeks.
It's been like a month.
It has been. Yeah. I wasn't
Gosh,
here.
I
for
haven't
last...
seen you since last year.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying.
Yes. Got to get my violent rage out of the way.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so corny. It makes me angry. So I plan on actually dressing up for Comic-Con this year.
Ooh.
I have an idea for what I'm going to use too.
Yeah.
I'm going straight up Knights of the Old Republic Sith.
Ooh.
Found a nice helmet,
I bought
some robes.
Scouts,
that kind of stuff.
Cloak from
Actually, let me
Attack
see if
on
I can
Titan,
find it.
and he keeps trying to wear it.
It's going to take me several
everywhere.
paydays to, parse all this
I
through.
said- I
but-
told
I would
the other day, I
imagine,
said,
yeah.
Dude, go get your jacket, and he comes out with his Scout's cloak. I was like, no, go get your real jacket, please. It's funny.
Ooh, that's sick.
I want to see if I can find a voice modulator too.
That'd be awesome.
I want to
Or I'll just mess with
lay in
I'll
the
just do
corner over there and go
a
to
fun
sleep.
voice.
Well, y'all
Me too.
have some connections with
Usually
the,
around this time, I'm
the
like,
501st.
501st, so you could probably talk to them. and at least get recommendations.
I
I've
don't
been staying
know.
up
I'd
late
be
lately.
nervous.
I've been trying to
They're
get all that
fans.
stuff together for the videos.
Yeah, and we have had them on before.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I don't know. Maybe that's not
I'm
a
gonna
bad
chop
idea.
this show up too, just for
Make use of the
practice.
connection.
It's a good point.
Don't forget the intro. Eventually, someday.
I found
As soon as
boots.
I
I found
get
gloves. I
everything
found. Basically,
down
there's not
for
going to be a
Tara
part of me
and
that's
Tara,
really going to be exposed.
I'll work on it, 'cause it's been a
I mean,
lot.
you're
I
dressing up
gotta
as
talk to
a
Mark
Sith
on
Lord, so
Monday.
yeah, it makes sense.
We don't like the sunlight.
Don't act like it's too much work.
It's not.
Just you're trying to organize.
Lightning can only strike twice so many times.
So Matthew wasn't here for the Screw Lars portion last week.
The what?
The screw we got flagged for Metallica from a year ago.
Yeah, man.
So I had to change the music, which is fine. So this is new music. So for the lightning round, because Lars sits around the drummer for Metallica and just, it's like, that's our song. It's our song. That's what we think anyway. All right. So I said I'd give you something that I think would make you happy, Matthew. I think I know it'll make Cameron happy. I don't know about Tim, but we'll go with yes, possibly. Does the question "Where's Perry" have any thing? Does it do anything for you?
Where are the platypus? Where are you?
Exactly.
What?
Yes. Phineas and Ferb is coming back with all new episodes.
I've
Really?
heard about
Yes.
that. Mhm.
So these guys were pretty much growing up, I think, when they started watching Phineas and Ferb.
Still
Oh,
a
yes,
good
it's
I
show.
remember
yeah.
when it premiered.
Yeah, and I loved it. I mean,
It's such a fun show.
yeah, Doofenshmirtz or whatever his name is.
I don't think I've
is-
ever watched that. one.
Doofenshmirtz.
You-
Doofenshmirtz is amazing.
Yes,
He's the best character in the entire
He
show.
really is.
Yes. And Perry the Platypus. I mean, I really love that. And Mom, Phineas and Ferb are doing an opening sequence. I mean, it's just
There was enough meta jokes in there.
yes, yes.
There's a lot of smart humor and a lot of
Oh yeah.
just fun in that show.
The writing was it was great.
It was incredibly famous.
They'll just go out back to him and just build an
all
entire
started
amusement
when
park.
my parents
Yeah.
failed to show up
Yeah.
to my own birth.
That's
And-
exactly what I thought.
Yeah, and the whole thing is the older sister tries to show the mom that they're doing stuff, and they never get caught.
That sounds actually
Yeah,
sounds
they go
pretty
to
fun.
space. They do so many things. Didn't they have a musical episode?
They did.
Yeah,
Most episodes were musical.
Yeah, I mean-
every episode had a song.
that's true. But I thought there's one that was like musical all the way through. And
I think one of the movie specials was a
yeah,
musical.
maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
But really like that show. Glad it's coming back. And yes, Phineas and Ferb absolutely needs to be on the comic book bracket for sure.
I would agree.
All right. Here's the thing that may not make you happy. Adam Driver is rumored to be the front runner to play Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four.
Who?
Adam Driver.
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren.
Oh, okay. I don't know that he'd make a good Reed Richards, but he's a fine actor. He's a great actor in
You know
different
what?
things that he's done.
I'd be willing to give him a shot.
Put some glasses on him. Have you seen him with glasses on?
I don't
Yeah,
think
some
so.
glasses and shorter hair. I mean,
yeah, and take away any tantrums, and we're ready to go.
he's always so angry in movies.
Yeah, yeah.
He is.
Or
It's just is that a trope for him, or is that just him just having a breakdown?
and
on
does he
set?
have too much of an emo kind of look to him? No matter what,
bit.
that
Why is there an image of him shirtless with a horse?
I don't know. There's a few of those.
You should have been careful about your search.
No, it's not.
Hey,
It's,
there's been Swallow.
Hey, Vince Swallow.
it's
I
not.
love that. that
I'm gonna say
meme.
it's not really him. They just put his face on Putin's body. That's what it was.
I don't think
Anyway,
Putin's that ripped.
Yeah, well, don't tell him that. Uh,
I'm not in Russia. I
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, I don't think he looks the part physically, but I'm sure he'll do a fine job from the acting side.
well, I think people are more angry because they want John Krasinski to do it again, like what he did in Doctor Strange.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think he
I
put
could
like
think
an
of
amazing showing on, but I also feel like the writing from the Reed Richards side of the Doctor Strange movie wasn't amazing, so he didn't really have a ton to work with.
Yeah.
So
He
I
did,
don't
he did
wanna,
get
like,
shredded though.
he did.
He
That
absolutely
version
got
of him
shredded.
got shredded.
Yes, you're right. You're right. So, I don't know. I'm not angry about it like some other people are. I think I'm more interested to see what they do with Ben Grimm and how diverse do they feel like they have to be, and that they've tried that several times. I don't think it's necessary. Just make them who they are, brother, sister, all that kind of stuff. But and also, you can't do it without Doctor Doom, and someone has to play Doctor Doom and do it right.
There has not been a good Doctor Doom in live action. It makes me sad.
I mean, do what they did with Darth Vader with James Earl Jones. I mean, once the mask is on, put a well-known voice in there.
That could be a way to go about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
I hate the put a well-known voice. Put a good voice in
Okay.
there, please.
okay, I agree with that.
As a fan of animation who has had to deal with, let's put popular actor in this voice and use that to sell the movie.
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
like Chris Pratt?
Yeah, he's
like
not gonna
every
go
modern
there.
animation movie in the West. Thank you. Yeah.
You know that
Mm.
contrarianism thing that I was talking about earlier? I really hope you love the Mario movie. I really hope that you
I
have
hope
to
that
say,
it's- I'm
Hey,
not
my
sitting here
kids-
hoping that it's bad.
My
I
kids
hope that
are
it's
so
good.
looking forward to that movie.
I
I
hope,
hope that it's good,
Yeah,
but like
I hope
I don't
you
have
have to
any
come
faith
back.
in Chris Pratt's voice
Matthew,
performance.
you know it's bad when
It's
we
the-
all know
it's
what
the
you're
first-
thinking about.
It's the first movie that my kids have actually been interested in and want to go see in theaters, and I'm so excited to take them. I
Oh,
can't
that's
wait.
cool. And I hope that Matthew's able to come back and go, you know what? Chris Pratt's voice work in this was amazing.
I'll bring Matt with us. He can come with my family and watch
highly
it.
doubt that he's going to be good, but
So do you have an open mind enough to think that, he could win you
I
over?
go into anything that I watch with
Okay.
an open mind.
All right.
That's
all
what I
right.
say. I believe him.
As long as there's
on
a
that. There's some
possibility.
people
I
I
don't know.
believe him on that. Yeah,
I don't know.
100%.
I think he wants this to fail because
No,
Yeah.
I want the Mario movie to be good.
All right. I mean, it's got Jack Black in it. It's probably going to be pretty good.
Yeah, Jack Black's
Oh,
pretty
I have
good.
no issues with Jack Black doing Bowser. Like he's shown some great voice performances in the trailers.
All right. Speaking of actors that seem to be in everything, have you guys seen the Renfield trailer?
Yes.
No, I have not.
All right.
I have
So
not.
if you know Renfield, who Renfield is, classically Dracula has had a helper, and it's Renfield, and Renfield eats bugs. And in this case, Renfield gets powers when he eats bugs, and Dracula is Nicolas Cage. So yes, and it
That
What's
doesn't
the
want to make
bunny
you
in the
watch the movie.
box?
yes, it appears to be comedy horror, I guess, and because there's going to be a lot of blood and carnage you can tell
Yeah.
from the trailer. So,
A
but
dark comedy
right.
would probably be the way you'd.
yeah. And Nicholas Holt is Renfield, and he looks like he does a pretty good job. Although
Nick and Nick.
some of the stunts that Nicholas Holt does in the trailer, you just see him as Beast. Nicholas Holt played young Beast in X-Men.
Oh, I like him. I
yeah,
like him. I
yeah.
know you're talking about.
Why do I forget that? It's the second X-Men, which is actually the first X-Men, which is actually the third X-Men.
My
which
first
is,
class.
yes, first class. Thank you. We got there though, didn't we? Just like we got to the end of the show without having we did not have a major downfall. And yeah, I have no idea what I'm saying. I just want to thank everybody for participating on the show today, and keep those cartoons coming. We're going to be working on that. The bracket is around the corner. Thank you for tuning in, and have a great weekend, everybody. First class.
Yeah.
Dummy.
Oh.
And then I ended early. I apologize for ending early, but
Sorry.
What are you to outdo my sigh?
Sorry, I hear that, and immediately I go to JoJo's. Oh,
Wait,
the
no,
Gondo
don't.
Ka.
This isn't a JoJo's reference.
Everything is a JoJo's
It
reference.
is not a JoJo's reference.
All right. Tim, say goodbye to Facebook.
Goodbye, Facebook.
Matthew, say goodbye to Twitch.
Farewell, Twitch.
Cameron, say goodbye to Twitter.
Bye, Twitter. Why do I get Twitter?
And I
Because you
will,
just look like a Twitter person.
and I will say goodbye
I will
to
fight you.
to YouTube. And thanks everybody. And see you next time.